Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. We do not have only free-flowing coffee outside. We also have free-flowing discussion. Let's make this as informal as possible so that we can all really express ourselves. And just for me also to be happy and sharing with you our accomplishments for 2024 as well as our plans and programs for 2025. We are so happy that we have a law, a good law, a Changemaker Law, Republic Act 11032, which we call the Ease of Doing Business in Efficient Delivery of Government Services Law. We're also grateful and fortunate that we have a president who is technology savvy and whose 8-point socioeconomic agenda includes the development of bureaucratic efficiency. It is also clear from his directive on how to implement this directive, which is simply for all government processes and services to be streamlined and digitalized. Tamang-tama po ito dahil ito po talaga ay napatunayan na natin na naging isang effective way of fighting red tape and corruption in the process. Later on, i-share ko sa inyo yung mga ebidensya, backed up with figures that will show that we are somehow not only that we are winning this fight if we follow strictly the directive of the President to streamline and digitalize government processes and services. Under his leadership, ARTA has wholeheartedly embraced our mission of transforming the delivery of government services. We stand behind the President's vision for a bagong Pilipinas, envisioning a government that has transitioned from an obstacle course to a welcome mat for all Filipinos seeking to contribute for the nation's economic prosperity. We would like to make a difference in government service. We are not only to be contented with our plans and programs, we are determined to implement them at least until the end of this administration in 2028. I remember during my visit to Malaysia, sometime in 2017, I was then the Deputy Director General for Operations, and I got the opportunity to visit our counterpart office in Malaysia. They call this the Malaysia Productivity Commission, or MPC. My counterpart official then told me that in the late 80s, 1980s, he went to study in UP Diliman. At the time, yung Malaysia po, wala pang MRT. Ang Pilipinas po may MRT na tayo, may mga computers na. Ang Malaysia wala pa. Hindi pa po nagamit ng computers. Look at where Malaysia now, and look at where Philippines now compared to Malaysia. It's all about the implementation of programs. We have very good plans and programs. It is in the implementation that we fail. Kaya po kailangan talaga natin ang suporta ng media para ipaalam ang importance of implementing these programs and initiatives that we have developed in the last 5 years of operation at ARTA. Of course, we cannot just be contented with having developed all these programs, initiatives. At the same time, we are also aware of our mission and vision as an institution. And we take this matter seriously. And I hope that with your support and cooperation, we should remain guided by this mission and vision of ours. ARTA's mission and vision have as our work every day, and we take this by heart. Our mission is to foster a culture of integrity, efficiency, and innovation in government service. Imagine if we can really translate this into action. So goes also our vision of a Philippines where public services are seamless, transparent, and accessible enabling both the public and the private sectors to succeed. We have seen the effect of getting the support of the private sector, and we get things done more faster and more efficiently if we have the private sector on our side all the way to the accomplishment of our objective. We have established long partnerships, not only with the private sector, but also with our development partners, even foreign governments who come to us every time they have an issue. I think we have developed that certain degree of trust and confidence because, I hope I can share with you the matters that they have raised to us. But because of the sensitivity of the nature of the concerns raised to us, I will refrain from sharing this with you until we are able to address these concerns raised by ambassadors, by foreign governments. And of course, in order to make a difference, we address them immediately and we offer solutions, both with the objective of trying to settle the matter amicably. Because ayaw din po naman nilang umabot tayo sa husgado dahil alam natin na pag umabot na sa husgado, hindi lang po ito matagal kundi magastos pa. At ang isang napakaganda at napakadaling paraan dito ay mag-usapan ng maayos at mapaintindi natin sa ating mga kasamahan sa gobyerno na kailangan natin bigyan ng tamang atensyon itong kanilang mga hinaing dahil it will have an impact not only on existing investments or investors but even for prospective investors. Kami po sa Atay, we are following a 6-year roadmap. Hindi po tayo basta-basta na lang sumusulong, kundi tayo po ay being guided by that roadmap. Kasi pag wala tayong roadmap, so how can we expect to go to reach our objective or plan if we do not have that roadmap? And I'm so happy to report that in the last 5 years of our operations, we have been able to develop programs and initiatives which I will share with you in details later on. And having developed those programs in initiatives at practically no cost to government, because we got technical assistance from foreign government, for instance, from the United States Agency for International Development, from the United Kingdom government, from Australia, New Zealand, even Israel recently. And all those countries, Korea, Malaysia, they have offered their assistance to us, knowing the potential of our country. We are so blessed. We are strategically located. Therefore, we have the interest of the international community. And of course, they want us to succeed. But most of the work will have to come from us. And we, being part of this journey, being in this together, we must all work together, supporting each other, supporting this administration, because we believe that we are in this ship together. Unless we work closely, we cannot afford to fail, because other countries are also competing against us. As much as possible, providing for the business enabling environment that will attract investors. So we act with urgency. We would like to act on it immediately so that we can outrace all the other countries that are just waiting for those prospective investors to go to their respective countries. So in 2024, as you can see from the roadmap, we focus on stakeholder engagement, meaning we meet with chambers of commerce, local and foreign. We meet with development partners, World Bank, even foreign governments, U.S. Agency for International Development. We work also with companies and hold them until the specific issue or concern is properly addressed. The task at that point will be to manage conflicts, as you can see from the screen, facilitate discussions, and advocate for necessary changes. We also follow a a program that prioritizes sectors according to its degree of importance. So, we have addressed, made the priority, yung telecommunications and connectivity. We were able to show this during the pandemic, how important to address this sector. We also address the issue of logistics, to make it the transport of goods to be as seamless as possible. And we have developed programs for implementation already. We have also tried to come up with the business one-stop shop on the permitting process, because it's very important for businessmen to register their business with ease. And what better way to encourage them than to, of course, apply, convince them that in the LGUs that have set up and operationalized an electronic business one-stop shop, it is easier to register one's business from anywhere, from the comfort of one's home or offices, and in a matter of minutes, they can get their business permit. ARTA is actively collaborating with regulatory agencies. Ating po objective, every time we address a particular sector, we recognize that there is a lead agency. For instance, with energy, we recognize the Department of Energy as the lead sector. On housing, the issue. On health, food and pharma, the Department of Health. On infrastructure, the Department of Public Works and Highways. Responsible mining, of course, the DNR and all other concerned agencies like the NCIP. Renewable energy, the Department of Energy, and water, of course, the Department of right now the DNR. Through strategic partnerships with international counterparts, ARTA has released comprehensive guidance documents and is actively engaging agencies in regulatory impact assessment and business process reengineering. I came recently from the conference in Jakarta, and we had the opportunity of reporting to our partner agency or partner governments from the ASEAN member states, the 10 member ASEAN states, as well as with UK and New Zealand governments, and we shared with them our success in terms of implementing our program on electronic business one-stop shop, and also our successful program on the streamlining permitting process for the telecommunication sector. After our report, they were very impressed. They said, outstanding. Compared with those other reports, I think we excel. And our advantage is that, of course, magaling po tayo sa communication. Diba? Si Director Marpita, nandun po tayo, sabi niya magaling mag-English yung mga Pilipino. Yun yung ating advantage. When we report really with passion and with clearness. No? Kaya talagang lahat ng comments sa amin, you will make an excellent report. Kaya lang siyempre, pag i-compare natin doon sa Indonesia, no? Yung traffic nila matindi, many years ago. But right now, siguro hindi naman tayo nahuli because if we continue to support the build more of our president, at least yung mga subways, train, tulungan po natin na ma-implement natin yan. Dahil this will have a long and lasting solution for traffic problems. Okay. Doon po, na-share ko sa inyo, mag-give ko kanina on our initiative on streamlining the permitting process for the telecommunications sector. As you can see from the screen, yan po, yung ating ginawa, yung substantial reduction in terms of the number of permits, number of documents, as well as the turnaround time of processing time. And ito po sinasabi ko na evidence-based po tayo. Pag ginawa natin mas madali, ang pag-apply ng business permit, you will see, no? Estimates from the World Bank itself. Yan po yung figures na pinapakita namin sa inyo. Came from World Bank. At dahil po, na-streamline natin yung process, with the 1-year implementation of GMC alone, tumaas po ang number of permits issued by more than 26,000. Ito po ang sinasabi ko kanina, that the best evidence to fight red tape and corruption is for government process to streamline and digitalize. Kasi pag alam ng mga negosyante na madali, dito ang mag-rehistro ng kanilang negosyo, sila na mismo ang mag-voluntarily register their business. First, ginawa natin ito, not because we did it alone. We did it together with the DICT, the DILG, the DTI, and all the other concerned agencies. At the forefront of this technology initiative is the eGov Super App developed by the DICT, which our platform team used to support. Now, you can see from the next screen yung figures that will back up our claim that those LGUs that have set up and operationalized an electronic business one-stop shop, isa po yung common experience nila. Tumaas po yung kanilang number of business registrations at revenue collection. At dito po, you can see, of the first 10 compliant LGUs, lahat po halos tumaas yung kanilang numbers na sinabi. And as of October 12, this year, ang total number of LGUs compliant has reached 112. Can you imagine? If the whole country, all LGUs will have set up one. Talaga pong gaganda yung ating ekonomiya, magkakaroon po na tayo ng mas maraming negosyo, magkakaroon po ng mas maraming trabaho ang ating taong bayan. And this is what this is the clear proof, the best evidence. I said earlier, na pag in-apply natin yung streamlined and digitalized process, red tape will be minimized. Because ang simple explanation po dito, yung lahat po ng LGU dyan na nag-issue ng business permit, is with a QR code. Kapag ang QR business permit na nakapost doon sa establishment, madali po natin ma-verify kung yung business permit na yan ay genuine. By simply scanning the QR code, malalaman po natin kung legally issued yan or hindi. So, businessmen knowing that they can default easily if they have a fake business permit, they will voluntarily register their business and pay the right amount of revenues to the government. Kaya po talagang pinapaiting natin, kasama po natin dito ang Office of the President, Presidential Management Staff, Impact Ahead Opportunity, our presenting e-boss to the President. And so the directive really is for all LGUs lives. Kasi pag ginawa natin ito from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, talaga pong lalo po ang negosyo, gaganda ang ekonomiya, magkakaroon po ng maraming negosyo at magkakaroon ng maraming employment opportunities sa ating kaumbayan. Now, we are also currently developing itong ating TIBRIS activities. Ano ba yung TIBRIS? TIBRIS is the digital-based platform which will capacitate, nasa ano na po tayo, operation stage. We have been able to train the priority sectors wherein by simply using this digital platform of TIBRIS, pwede po nilang i-upload yung kanilang mga regulations na in-implement to ensure na wala pong conflicting regulation at yung regulation there will be no overlapping regulation. At malalaman din po natin na mas madali kung yung regulasyon na pinapatupad ng sino mang ahensya ay nagkaroon ng tamang konsultasyon at kung talagang kailangan po yung regulatory impact assessment. This regulatory impact assessment is a tool, scientific tool that will ensure that any regulation being implemented by any agency does not cause undue regulatory burden or cost to the transacting public and to the agency. Now, with the use of the digital platform, we will expedite the capacity and the number of national government agencies compliant with this system. Because by doing so, di ba, kung ikaw ay negosyante, gusto mo mag-engage in the business of restaurant, i-click mo na yung restaurant business, lahat po ng regulasyon that will cover the restaurant business will be seen in that digital platform. So goes also when you're engaged in pharmaceutical, entertainment, ganun po, napakaganda ng programang ito. And hopefully, if we're able really to fully implement them, talaga po mapapadali ang pagnegosyo dito sa Pilipinas. Isa pang napakagandang what's this? This I consider to be the heart and soul of the ease of doing business. And if all agencies are compliant with this requirement, the compliant of the Citizen Charter, kung saan sila po ay obligado na i-publish yung kanilang services that they offer to the public, including the documents required, the fees to be paid, the standard processing time, the process flow. So, kayo po, you want to apply for a business permit or for a license to operate, the first thing that we advise the public is to look at the agency's Citizen Charter. Kasi kung alam nyo yung dapat ang inyong practical. At bawal na bawal po ang isang ahensya ng gobyerno mag-impose ng any requirement or fee on top of what is published in the Citizen Charter. Hindi po ba karamihan reklamo natin? Ito, minsan, sabi niya, kung i-agent ito, maraming pahirap, maraming kung anong requirement, pinapabalik-balik. Kung lahat ng ahensya ng gobyerno ay compliant dito sa Citizen Charter, sila po nagsasubmit ng updated Citizen Charter sa ating Compliance, Monitoring, and Evaluation Office, an updated one, on or before the end of every month of March, every year, together with a certificate of compliance by the agency head. And of course, you can see from the screen na almost 97%. Hindi ko ba napakaganda nito na ma-avoid po yung mga kwento-kwento na sabi dito sa ahensya na ito. Maraming red tape, maraming requirements na i-impose. Bawal na bawal po yan. Kaya kami naman po dito sa ARTA, we are successful. Every time we receive a complaint, the first thing that we do is to look at that agency's Citizen Charter. At pag alam ng ahensya na yung ARTA is already on board, they always make sure at least from our experience that they will address the complaint or issue raised to us. Kaya po, kung meron kayong mga kaibigan, mga kamag-anak na pinapahirapan na sino mang ahensya, hindi po dapat tayo matakot o mga tubilig na ireklamo ito. Kasi pag hindi ninyo ireklamo, paano natin mabibigyan ng tamang solusyon? Ang inaalala pa natin, pakabalikan kami ng ahensya. Baka ngayon, matulungan kayo ng ARTA, pero next year, pag-apply nyo ulit ng business permit, pabalikan kayo na ito. Hindi po mangyayari yun. I assure you that ARTA will be there with you. So far, we have not received any complaint from anyone who says that he went to us, we were able to address the problem, and the following year, pinahirapan siya ng ahensya ng gobyerno. Ano po dahil dito? Dahil ang batas natin ay very specific in terms of penalty. First offense, 6 months suspension. Second offense, dismissal. Forfeiture of benefits. Forfeiture of perpetual disqualification. Meron pang fine na 500,000 to 2 million. Meron pa yung imprisonment na 1 to 5 years. Hindi, wala pong dahilan para balikan kayo ng sino mang empleyado, opisyal ng gobyerno. Dahil anticipated po ito ng batas. Pag binalikan kayo, by reporting to ARTA, the penalty for the second offense will apply. At huwag po kayong dapat matakot that we have a legal department that immediately acts on concerns raised to us. At ang ating pong resolution rate is almost 98.23%. Kasi hindi na po tayo umaabot doon sa full-blown litigation. Naayos po ito amicably. Dito po na gusto ko emphasize, no? Every time na malaman na ahensya na ang ARTA ay already involved, ina-action na nila kagad. Sometimes, just a simple request text from me to the Commission of Customs, any agency, ina-action na po nila kagad ito. Dahil alam nila na ang susunod na step dito ay we will investigate and file charges. Meron din po tayong napakagandang programa din na tinatawag nating report card survey. And last year, we were able to cover 860 agencies. And last October 30, nagbigay po tayo ng award. I-recognize po natin yung mga agencies that have garnered a score of very satisfactory to outstanding. Napaganda po ito dahil bakit natin tinatawag na report card? Kasi, di ba, pag failure ka o below satisfactory, papatawag ka sa principal's office. Ganun din po yung sistema nito sa report card survey. Pag if the rating is below satisfactory, we will ask them to explain bakit gano'n. But for those that have been able to garner rating of very satisfactory, meaning from 90 to 94.99 or very satisfactory or 95 to 100 excellent, nire-recognize po natin yan at binigyan natin ng tamang recognition o award. Hindi na ako award. Now, para we have more time for, you can see from the screen the number of awardees. Well, kung meron pa rin kayong kalinlangan, any doubt at all, please do not hesitate to call us at 12782 or 8888 or email us at complaints@arta.gov.ph, because we guarantee that anyone, any entity, or any person who gathers, who encounters any red tape experience or even corruption, please report them to us. Because under Republic Act 11032, we have the power to investigate and file our recommendations and findings either to the Civil Service Commission or to the Office of the Ombudsman. Wala po kundi, we just implement the issue doing business law with so much passion and commitment to do so, because we want to make a difference in the way government services are being rendered to the public. And one tool that we will adopt starting next year, because this is in the process of development, is the use of technology. We call the Electronic Complaints Management System. This system will provide an efficient and accessible platform for the public and private sector to report red tape related issues and other concerns. Through ECMS, ARTA ensures prompt action and resolution. And because we are in the age of the Internet of Things, the use of artificial intelligence, we are also developing the use of artificial intelligence in receiving complaints, to be able to receive complaints 24/7. Kasi pag hindi natin ginamit ito, of course, during weekends, katap tayo ng reklamo na bakit walang sumasagot sa ating telepono, sa ating hotline. But, with the use of artificial intelligence, any call, any concern can be responded to through the use of artificial intelligence 24/7. At this will be properly tracked, properly monitored, so that solutions can be done right away. ARTA is also the thick of complying with the recent World Bank 2024 Business Review Report. We have been delegated by the Office of the President as the focal point in terms of our compliances with the World Bank Business Review Report. Why am I emphasizing this? Because prospective or even existing investors look at our country's performance in the World Bank's Business Review Report. It has a direct correlation to the amount of foreign direct investments. If we are able to improve our ranking, investors will flock to our country. And right now, we are busy preparing for the composition of the various technical working groups involving various government agencies and the private sector towards having a much improved ranking. In the pilot testing done by the World Bank, which result we had this year, we were in the top 40% of the 50 economies pilot tested by the World Bank. We ranked number 16 out of the 50 pilot tested economies in terms of providing the right regulatory framework. Meaning, we have very good laws, very good regulations, policies towards the ease of doing business. However, in terms of government efficiency and public services, we rank much lower than the other neighboring countries. What is the simple explanation to this? I will go back again in the beginning of my message that we are very good in terms of planning. It is in the implementation that we fail. Meaning that those surveyed, the professionals and the stakeholders who were surveyed by the World Bank, gave an answer that ito nga, merong issue in business law, we have good policies, it is in the implementation that we fail. Because andun pa rin po yung minsan mahabang pila, yung palaging yung pahirap. Let me give you an example. Doon sa top management, there's no question that from the secretaries like us, we want to improve things. It is in the lower portion. Doon po sa mga evaluator, nagkakaroon ng problema. Tapos, siyempre, pag the-experience nyo, itong SEC, matagal mag-process ng aming application without telling us that doon po sa lower, doon sa evaluation, nagkakaroon ng problema. I'm telling you this because my own daughter, who is a lawyer, complained to me yesterday. Merong prospective big investor from Hong Kong. Ilang buwan na po hindi na-actionan ng SEC yung kanilang application for registration. Ang tinanong ko, yung ilang dito, ano nung mga documents, pinapabalik-balik. Sabi ko, mag-complain ka. Eh, ayaw ng investor mag-complain dahil ayaw niya na balikan. Sabi ko, hindi, ako pero yun, andun pa rin yung doubt. That is, can you imagine, my own daughter, who is a lawyer, hesitant to, because yung kliyente niya refuses to complain to us. Ayaw na problema, ayaw mabalikan. But, hindi natin mabibigyan ng tamang solusyon if people do not complain to us. So you, in the media, I appeal to you, kayo po ang instrument of change in this country. Sometimes people will hesitate to complain, but because you're in the media, you have this role of letting us know. That's why we are having this event, so that we can have an open discussion. You can let us know. This is for the good of the country, to have the much desired Bagong Pilipinas, where we envision to have a business-enabled environment that will attract investors into the country. We can only do this if we are able to tell the whole world that in the Philippines, we are ready for business. And we will not hesitate to report anyone who violates the law. Hindi lang po tayo nire-report yung mga crimes, yung mga nangyayari ngayon, kundi looking at it more positively. For ease of doing business, please help us para ma-divert ng konti yung mga issues of localities, issues that we hear. Look at it more on the positive side. We have here a more opportunities for us to drive the economy forward that will attract investors to set up their businesses here. Once businesses are set up, once foreign investors come in, we will not only have more business opportunities, we will also have more livelihood and income opportunities for our people. And I hope we can really work together and we can devote the rest of the time discussing how else we can help one another. Now, thank you, and let us continue working for a better and brighter Philippines.